And it adds up. And most people cut corners with that because they like, man, I don't want to pay an extra $600 just for tags. But like, this is what's going to like make your brand like
There's
quality.
little things
those
set you
little
apart.
things that set you apart than the average person. And there's nothing wrong with having somebody else's name on your shirt when you're getting started. But like when you're trying to build a brand and like establish like dominance in the space, like your name needs to be on every fucking thing. Look at Donald Trump. Big Trump towers on everything. Like, he don't care. Like, you're going to know who this is and who owns this and who runs this. Yep. And for me, like, that's very important for me to, like, establish, like, dominance with my brand. Like, no, this is my brand. I'm not going to have a champion tag on my fucking hoodie. It don't make no sense for me to do that.
What's going on, you guys? Charles Oglesby here, also known as Todd Millionaire, founder and director of the Todd Capital Investment Club, also 4-year podcaster. You guys all know who I am, created the best-selling options course, also created the best-selling freedom pack that consists of everything that you need to start from where you are and obtain financial freedom in less than a year. I believe that you can do it. If you take the things that we put in this freedom pack, you can accomplish those goals. So click the link in the bio. Check us out. Support what we have going on. We do nothing if it does not add value to you. So best believe that whatever you invest in us, you're going to get 10 times that return back. My name is Charles Oglesby. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, rate and review our podcast. Leave a comment. Leave us some feedback. We love to see it. We love to read it, and we respond to all comments. So check out the episode.
What does ratchet shit consist of, man? If you can talk about it on the internet.
Man, of course, my guy getting married tomorrow, so of course, we probably gonna, go kick it, eat good, drink, smoke.
Hit the strip club.
And it's a bunch of Chicago guys who we haven't been together in a while, so just do Chicago shit, talk Chicago shit. Yeah, that's all.
That's dope.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's like, it's a nice variety of people. You got some real estate investors, you got former NBA ball players, you got, high school basketball coaches. You got my one guy, he's a sneaker enthusiast. He sells sneakers. It's just a nice conglomerate. Yeah. Young, successful black men that get together and in different fields. And, we don't see each other as much as we used to. Because, when you're young, you kind of feel like and you think like growing up with your friends, y'all gonna be together like y'all whole life. It just never works like that. It never goes like that.
You take it for granted, man.
Yeah, you do. Because
you take it for granted being like roommates and living next door to your friends.
Yeah. And then like once after high school, everybody's just like all over the place.
Yeah,
and like once that happens, like people just become different people, like just different experiences in life. This person went to college, he got married right after college. This person didn't go to college, he stayed home. It's like just different people have different experiences, and that's what like starts to mold people into who they're gonna be as adults.
It's cool that you stay connected to your high school friends. I don't really connect with my high school friends like that. College friends kind of, but not high school friends.
Yeah, it's it ain't a lot. Trust me, it's a few of them. But it's like it's the ones who had progressive mindsets.
Yeah,
like, I ain't really around nobody who's not a forward thinker or who don't think big. Like, you know what I mean? So those are the people who I'm around from my younger days. If they not like that, it's probably rare that we speak.
Yeah, I was on Instagram and I saw you cleaning your sneakers. Yeah, you said you have over 150 pairs of sneakers.
Yeah, it's insane.
When did you start collecting shoes?
Probably in 2008 is when I really started going hard because, coming up poor, like sneakers is a thing in the black community, like, you know what I mean? And I always wanted all the Jordans and just like I never could get them. Like it was like I was almost offending my aunt when I asked her for $100 pair of shoes. Like, $100, you know what I could do with $100? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you poor, like as a kid I don't get that, but for her she like, shit, that's 2 weeks worth of groceries, you know what I mean? She really running it down, like what she could do with the money. Like, this is a bill. I'm like, oh shit, I'm asking for sneakers. But like, it's just something that I've always loved. And once I started like making my own money and getting my own money, I started collecting them, and I understood the value of sneakers too. Like, it wasn't just like I buy sneakers because I like them. I was collecting sneakers to at some point resell them, you know what I mean? But at this point I'm wealthy, so it's like I don't need to resell my sneakers. I could just wear them.
You were connecting. Hold on, let me do the clap first. I forgot to do the clap, but you were collecting sneakers. It's a weird dichotomy because I don't know if we all expected retros to still be hot right now.
Yeah.
And so now, what's really cool about...
I always knew, though. I always felt like they would. That's why, like, so I would buy, like, 1 or 2 pairs at a time.
And just one to rock, one to stock.
I wear one, and I would stock one. Yeah. And it's crazy. I knew because you would see the hype behind it. You would see the people in the line at the stores. You would see... And then, too, one of my guys who I was just telling you about, he sold sneakers. Yeah. And he sold sneakers after they were sold out at the store, and they were at a markup. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing. He's actually in my book. Okay. I interview him in my book. Like, this is the thing. He treats his sneakers like stock. He buy them and hold them.
They kind of are like stock.
They are. He wraps them up, make sure they don't go bad. Yeah. Oh, man, he takes good care of them. And then once they hit a certain level, man, he'll sell them or either just rock them. And it's crazy because even worn shoes, you can still resell and get more money from them. I saw some at the mall the other day. I was like, I kind of like these used shoes right here. And they're not as expensive as a brand new. Yeah, like a pair of Off-Whites, Travis Scott's, like brand new, you paying shit $2,000. You can get a pair used, rarely used for a G, which is still crazy markup on a $120 pair of sneakers.
Yeah, so it's like you get them on both ends. It's like I can't pay you full price because you already wore them. Yeah, but I can still charge a pretty penny.
Hell because if I paid $160 for a pair of Travis Scott's and I can still sell them used for $1,000, that's 100%. Yeah. What shit? 10,000%. It's just a big number. Like turnaround on that.
So you know what's crazy is I have a friend. Him and his son, what they would do is they would rent out shoes.
Rent them out?
Yeah, so they'll let you wear the shoes for whatever that is. And then you just got to bring them back in good shape.
So it's almost like Turo for shoes.
Yeah, like Turo for shoes, but it could be a thing, man.
Yo, I never thought about that, but that could definitely be a thing because people might just want to wear them for a night. You know what I mean? Right. You can get a pretty penny for those, $50, $60. So let somebody
$1,000 shoes, $2,000 shoes. They pay you whatever they pay you.
I never thought about that. That's hard.
New business for the people on Twitter.
That's hard.
Sometimes you got to innovate. Not sometimes, all the time you got to innovate stuff. That's what I'm realizing even with like where I'm at now. I'm like, okay, if I'm looking for deals in the Southern California market, I can't approach it how everybody else is doing it because I'm just one of many. And so my strategy is I'm contacting sellers and I'm like, hey, I'm a black investor. And my goal is to work with you to improve it, make some money, but not displace the current neighborhood. Most investors aren't coming there like that. Most investors is like, give me your house for this much money. and even like with the people that I'm approaching for land deals, because I want to do a lot of ground up development. And so I'm approaching them like, hey, I'm looking to build affordable housing. I want your property, not so I can go ahead and build market rate stuff. I want to build affordable housing. I need to work with you. And so I'm kind of taking a different approach to make me stand out. And that's what's the importance of marketing anyway, is to make yourself stand out. And in business, your business needs to be something that's unique and rare, that's not obvious, not a commodity, and you're not just competing with the next guy over who's flipping homes or whatever.
And that, like you say, and that goes over well in any business because that's exactly what I'm doing with my book. I'm advertising it as free, even though it's not necessarily free. So let me give you the play behind my book. This is for anybody that wants to do a book or like wants to learn how to market without necessarily charging, but you'll still make money. And I got this from my guy, Henry Washington, because he gave me the play. Hopefully, Henry don't be mad. So what I did was I bought my books in bulk up front. To produce a book, ship it out, everything, my total is going to be about $9. So what I do is I market the book as free, but I charge a $15 shipping fee. So, and even before you get to the point where you know that it's a $15 shipping fee, you put your email address in so that you can qualify to get the free book. So whether you get the book or not, I have your email now and I can market to you. And then if you get the book, I just make $6 off in the email.
How do you get a book printed? Where'd you go to get this book printed?
Where did I get my book printed at? REI Print. It's a company out of Missouri that I use. All right. And they give me some pretty good numbers as far as my printing goes.
Yeah, I need that. I need to get a book printed. I've written it.
That's why I didn't do an ebook. Yeah. Because I can make money off of emails.
Right. Who would think to go physical and turn it into electronic? That's next level thinking right there.
Man, like it just, and it's crazy because it allows me to market to more people, and that way you get more sales because people are like, oh man, a free book, I'll take a free book. And then once they get to that point, it's like, oh, $15 for shipping, that ain't nothing because the book is free.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the whole time, now I have your email. Even if you don't get the book, I have your email so I can continue to market this book to you and any of my other products. And if you do decide to get the book, I just made $6. You just paid me $6 for giving me your email. Typically, people are paying for email lists. I'm getting paid to create an email list.
Because you created a lead magnet.
Exactly.
You created a lead magnet, and the lead magnet allows you to get the leads without having to pay for the leads, or to kind of do it in a more unique way. That's really smart. The secret, though, is execution. A lot of people are going to talk, think, and figure their way out of taking the action, but you got to take that action because honestly, you can do the same thing with the ebook.
Yeah.
You can do the same kind of strategy to get the leads, get the information, but you have to understand what's valuable. And what's valuable is those emails. Emails are so valuable. That's why I send so many of them because there's money in the emails. Y'all think I send 3 emails a day and don't make no money? Come on, man. The money be coming in.
I get about 6 of them motherfuckers.
I got an email right now. You see that right there? That's a sale. Just as I'm saying it, we getting money. Man, so the merch business, when did you decide to get into merch?
The crazy thing about the merch is that was the first thing I wanted to do, bro.
Oh.
Like, I drew the designs in my cubicle in 2015, like the happiness over everything, my Mindset Matters, and shout out to all of the other people that have the Mindset Matters brand too, because I'm not the only one who has that brand, and it's no issues, no beef, none of that.
I was going to ask you about that.
I support all of that kind of shit.
Because a long time ago, I helped somebody create a company called Mindset Matters. And I was like, when I saw you with your company and him with this company, I was like, I don't know what I should do. So I just didn't say nothing. I was like, they'll figure it out.
And it's crazy because I just don't operate in that space. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like it's enough room for everybody, and we kind of like pushing the same thing.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
I'm not going to feel no type of way about somebody who has the same message as me. Like, shit, we essentially saying the same thing, so why would I let that upset me? You know what I mean? Like, you spreading the message just as well as I am.
Right.
We don't even know the same people, so why
the
would
world
I
is
feel
so
any type
big,
of way?
man.
Yeah. So
the world is so big. I made a lot of money, and I sold a product 20,000 times, and there's billions of people on the internet. And you over here trying to stop somebody from selling something however many times.
Yeah, it just don't make no sense. In addition to that, like, the Mindset Matters, that's just like my main logo. It's not my only design.
Right,
so I have this
right.
design, and I have a few other designs as well. That's just like the logo design, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, that was like the number one thing because I grew up watching Dame Dash, Master P, Jay-Z, Puff. Like, they all had their own clothing lines, you know what I mean? And like, these were the people that I used to listen to and look up to when I was younger. Like, man, I want to do the same shit that they're doing. You know what I mean? And I created these designs with a mission behind it. I just didn't want like any design. Like, I wanted something that represented something that spread awareness about something that I believed in, and that's what my brand is. It's an awareness spreading brand, and I'm trying to get it to the point where I can take some of the profits and invest them back into the community, whether it be boys and girls clubs or just stuff like that, like to just create youth programs for people. And at some point, I would like to grow this brand into like getting it into school so the teachers can wear it, just like, and really like spread the message and get it out there. But what really
hold on, before you go past that point, why is that important? Why is it important to build a brand that builds awareness and like with the purpose behind it?
Because most people do stuff for money, and that shit just ain't it. Like, that ain't it. Like, I wake up every day with the purpose of helping at least one person. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with no money.
Yeah.
The money will come behind that. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like the awareness about teaching these young men that your circumstance don't dictate your outcome is way more important than me making money because I'm already fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, now.
And that's another reason why you need to get financially free. So you can start doing things because they need to be done, not because you got to pay your bills.
Absolutely. And like, when you start doing stuff because you got to pay your bills, you start doing stuff out of desperation, you start gambling, you start taking more risks that don't end up getting the result that you want because like you're doing stuff like with, oh man, I gotta get it right now, that instant gratification thing. And it's the same thing like, you know, with stock options. When people are trying to get those big home runs every time, you're gonna lose.
Right.
You're gonna lose.
But if you're just trading because it's a good trade.
Yeah, because
it's a good trade, not because you're like, this could be the one that sets me free.
This is the $100,000 one right here. Like, you trade earnings. Like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't put your whole account into earnings.
That's when you make mistakes.
And stuff like that. So with me, I've realized to do things with purpose behind it. And I got that from the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Mm-hmm. Create a win-win in this shit for everybody, not just yourself. So even with me, the quality of my apparel, I'm very mindful of the quality. If I wouldn't wear it, I'm not gonna sell it. So I make sure I get a certain type of ink. I make sure my embroidery is on point. Like I make sure that I sent out and ordered 50 different blank hoodies, t-shirts, and sweatshirts before I just picked one. Like, I mean, put these on, see how they feel on my skin. Like, okay, I like this one, it's soft. I like this one because it's fitted a certain type of way. Like,
that's important.
I did all of these things for my brand before I put it out there, trying to just make money. You know what I mean?
I like it because a lot of people focus more on the logo and they focus on the logo and the name of the company more than I think they focus on the quality of the clothing that they're putting out into the world.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because sometimes it costs more money. So how do you invest in the quality and still make it make sense financially for you?
I've learned to buy in bulk, and that's something that I just learned this stuff from Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Master P, man. Put your own money up. Like, that's how you gonna get the best deal on everything. Put your own money up. When motherfucker fronting you something or they giving it to you, it's a tax on it.
Yeah.
They have to. That's the only way they gonna protect their investment. But when you putting your own money up and you buying in bulk, like I get t-shirts probably for $7 to $8. You know what I mean? That's with the logo on there, and I can sell them for 25 or 30. Easy.
That's not bad. How you managing this? Because whenever I look, just the t-shirt itself costs $7. I guess it's the buy in bulk.
Yeah, so I buy 500. Like, you know what I mean? I buy 500 t-shirts, 500 hoodies, 500 sweatshirts. That's 1,500 items. Like, they got to give me a discount. I'm gonna take this $12,000 somewhere else. I'm gonna take this $15,000 somewhere else. Like, you gonna give me the deal that I want to know.
Where did you get? Because, I mean, a lot of people, when they first start, they're like, I don't know if people are going to buy it. And so they don't want to buy in bulk.
So, initially, I didn't buy in bulk. I did a drop shipping campaign initially. Okay. And it sold out in 2 weeks. I'm like, all right, this is a go. Like, you know, it's a go. I tested the waters.
You can do a combination of both.
Yeah.
You can kind of tease it out there with the drop ship, and then once you figure out what you got, now you double down on
all right,
that.
yeah, it's a go. So now let me go buy this shit in bulk. And
what product was that you did that?
The Mindset Matters t-shirts and hoodies.
Okay.
That was my first one. I just did all black and white. And they sold out in 2 weeks. And even at the event, they sold out. I mean, the table was clear. Like, I mean, I had people writing me checks and all kind of shit. Like, it was just like, you gonna give me a check?
What do you think is the secret? Because it's a brand new brand, and it's doing crazy numbers. What do you think is the secret to getting to that point?
The mission. It's the mission behind the brand. Like, people see that there's a mission behind it. Like, people see the message, like, happiness over everything. Who doesn't want their happiness? Like, you know what I mean? Mindset matters. Like, I walk through the train, like, stop. I walk through the hospital. I walk through an elevator. People are like, man, I like that hat. I like what it represents. Like, when they see my happiness is greater than money logo, they're like, dude, like, I just love what that represents. I was in Houston for my birthday. We went to the spot called Andretti's, a race car place. I had on one of my sweaters, books are the keys. Man, I had 5 people stop me. 2 of them were teachers. Like, man, I wish I can get some of those so I can wear them in school and, like, get them to my staff and just different things. People asking me, am I a teacher? Just, like, people understand the message on the shirt. And when they see, and people react positive to positivity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when they see something good, and that was the whole point of it. I wanted to create something that would resonate with people without me having to say anything. They just got the message when they saw it. You know what I mean? So it's like when you see those logos, you see that smiley face,
I like it.
that greater than sign, and that money bag. It's like, oh shit! Like it looks cool, and there's also a message behind what he's saying. You know what I mean?
I think another thing that's important is it's not a lot of people out there promoting positivity in a way that's not cheesy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I make it look cool. Like, it's like, oh, you putting that shit on. Like, you sauced up in this shit. Like, you ain't just, I'm wearing this shit to the club. Like, I'm outside, like, in this shit. I ain't just, like, in no baggy-ass jogging suit with my logo on there. Like, no, this shit fitting me good. I'm looking good in it. Like, I'm taking videos and photos in it. And it makes people want to buy it. Like, bro, like, I want to. And that's the whole point of creating a brand. Like, the people, it don't matter what you sell. If people rock with you, they're going to rock with the stuff that you sell. You know what I mean? And that's why you build your brand and you build up trust and you build up these relationships with your followers and your audience, because at some point they're going to trust you enough to give you their money.
Right.
And that's the whole point of it. And if you cool and you look like, and that's why it's so important to know who your demographic is. I know who my demographic is.
Who is your demographic?
People from 18 to 40 years old who come from similar backgrounds to me, who like hip-hop music, who like marijuana. Just like, I know who my demographic is. So it's easy for me to throw on one of my sweatshirts, smoke a joint, with some rap music playing in the background and talk about financial literacy and real estate because this is what my demographic wants to hear. They want to see the cool rapper image, but talking about getting money. Yeah. Like, they wish their favorite rappers would talk like this, but they don't.
That's a good point.
They don't. It's like, God, why don't fucking my favorite rapper do this?
Yeah. That's
you know what I mean? Man. Instead, they talking about, you know what I'm saying, fucking bitches, you know what I'm saying, doing Molly, you know what I'm saying, throwing money, but they not telling you how to get none of that shit. I'm sitting here looking just like your favorite rapper, smoking my weed, telling you how to do everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
You creating a new role model for people, essentially.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to only look up to rappers and athletes. I got this guy over here. He got real estate. He got a clothing brand. He got a book. He out here doing public
speaking. And he's still cool.
He's still cool. Fly got his gold chain on his watch. Like,
he's not like kind of cheesy and nerdy.
Like square ass guy. Like,
he's not Todd Billy, man.
And that's the thing. Like, there's a lane for everybody. Even you cool in your own right. You know what I mean? Like, everybody don't come from the South Side of Chicago. This is naturally in me. This is who I am. You know what I mean? This is
so it would actually be bad if I were to try to do that.
Like, it would be terrible. Like you're yourself, and that's how you're supposed to be. People are going to embrace you for being yourself, and that's what I get the most love for being myself. Like, and that's why I aim at a specific demographic, because I know that's who needs to hear me. I know that's who I'm going to resonate with. Me and your audience, they may intertwine, but our core audiences are totally different.
That's 100% true.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
like,
true.
Totally different. But at the end of the day, we also have a lot of the same audience too, because we have a lot of similarities and we talking about a lot of the same shit, building wealth for the black community.
Yeah. How do you find out who your demographic is? Because a lot of people might be struggling and they think it's their responsibility to market just to the entire market.
Like I told you earlier, my guy George Pitts told me, speak to the people who were like you 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, be the person who you needed in your life. That's how you find your demographic. Like, who were you 10 years ago? And talk to those people. And I knew when I started this whole walk and this whole, like, branding and entrepreneur thing, who my audience was. I just didn't know where to find them. That's when I found Black Wealth Renaissance page. That's when I found your page. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all exposed me to my audience. And that's how I found my audience, through other influencers.
That's interesting.
It wasn't on my own, because I was struggling with that. Because again, I'm reading books by Gary Vee, watching Ty Lopez videos. They don't have my fucking audience.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting this information from them so that I can share it with my audience. But it's like, okay, their audience is not my audience. I'm not even really their audience, but these are the only people who are sharing this information that I'm looking for until I found y'all. Huh. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't follow Ty Lopez, none of those guys anymore. I'm following Todd Capital. I'm following Earn Your Leisure. I'm following Black Wealth Renaissance. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny is I did the same thing. Before, like, so let's take it back maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I was heavy into Grant Cardone, heavy into Gary Vee, heavy into Bigger Pockets. And I found myself recently noticing, like, I don't even watch those dudes anymore.
None of them. But that's who I started with, though. Yeah. That's who I started to get the information from. Then I realized, yo, we out here doing the same shit. Yeah. We just not as exposed as they are, or just not out here as much. But now it's starting to fucking be a thing. Yeah. Now I came across, like I said, I came across Black Wealth Renaissance, Earn Your Leisure, Ian the Master Investor, all of these people who look like, and that's the important part. That's why I make it my business to be myself and look like this and to talk like how I talk and do the things that I do, because I know there are people out here looking for me. Yeah. They're looking for me. They looking for a motherfucker who look and talk just like them, but it ain't a lot out here. That's and when they find them, it's like, swear. Like, oh my God, y'all out here?
That's when you get the DMs.
That's
like,
when you get the DMs, and it's just like the network starts to build, and it's just like, yo, so it's a whole bunch of us? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like how you like, now we got these Black Avengers.
We're making financial freedom lit.
Lit as fuck. And it's a lot of us. And before 2020, we didn't know, because we were all too busy working jobs and just doing shit that we probably shouldn't have been doing. And the pandemic kind of like brought all of this shit together and just like formed like these like Black Avengers. Like, I don't know if y'all seen that last Avengers movie. Like, there were so many heroes and shit in that movie that you didn't even see, that you never known. They're not even popular, like, but they all had some type of power. Like when they needed to take down what's the dude who had the 5 rings? Yeah. When they needed to take him down, man, they had people coming from all type of different realms and shit who had all of these magical powers and shit.
I like
but
that.
It's just the same thing. Like,
So
there are some of us are going to be way more popular than others and bigger, but we all got the same fucking goal, man.
What I think is dope about what you're saying is, I fell asleep on that movie. Maybe I'll go back and watch it again because I never saw that part. But I believe that prior to the pandemic, and maybe slightly before, it was really only one like black wealth dude that everybody just looked up to. And now that's not so much. Now there's so many people that have a platform and have a voice. I don't know why that happened. I mean, he still has a platform, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But like now it's like everybody has their say. Everybody can contribute. Everybody has some value that they can add. So it's kind of cool. Maybe podcasts have done that. Maybe the multiple podcasts that are out there have done that. But it's just cool that there's a lot of us that have these superpowers that are out there that you never even heard of. And that's what I take is like there's a lot of other superheroes out there that nobody's ever heard of, but they can add value to the community and to the universe, to this Black Wealth universe that we're building.
And that's what I hear EYL talk about all the time. They're always like, yeah, we're EYL on a big scale, but you can be EYL in your community though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so we can't touch all the communities. Everybody don't know about us. Everybody don't see us. Everybody don't have access to us. But you can be that in your community, and that's
honestly what I want to build in Southern California. Yeah. I want to build that in Southern California. Great, thankfully the internet gives us reach, but I want when people come to Southern California to know I got to go to Todd Capital Studios. Facts. And so that's what we got to build this out even more because people come to the city like I come to the studios, man.
Facts.
So that's what I'm trying to build out.
And that's why I make it my business every time that I do go to a different city that I touch down with like one of my guys who are like a heavy in that city when it comes to this space. Whether it be you, whether it be Lamont when I go to Monroe, whether it be Henry, whether it be Andre when I go to Arkansas, MG the mortgage guy if I go to New York, Welby if I go to Connecticut, like just like I have such a big network of cool ass friends all over the place where it's just like, yo, this shit is really like the fucking Avengers out here. Like, and it's crazy because everybody doing their thing and everybody got their own individual superpower. I talk about NACA. Todd talk about fucking stock options and creating e-courses. Just like everybody has something that they do specifically well. You know what I mean? Some people do a lot of things well. Some people do one thing well. So it's just like, it's crazy when you look at it like, yo, like, just we really the Avengers out here for the black culture, yo. Like when it comes to this money shit, like we really like changing the game and like putting people on and like changing the narrative in this shit, yo.
If you could be one Avengers superhero, who would it be?
That's tough. But my favorite though, out of everybody, I like Thor, man.
Okay.
I like Thor a lot. Like Thor just like he's real sure of himself. Like he know how strong he is. And he know when he get that motherfucking hammer in his hand, like it's over. Like even if even the other Avengers know, like when Thor come on the scene, like it's gonna be lit. Like I remember in the movie when Thor came on the scene, the Incredible Hulk was like, "Oh, y'all in trouble now." Like, and that's just like, you know, the energy that I feel like I bring. Like, you know, when I come on the scene, like I'm live. You know what I mean? I got a big personality. Like I draw attention, but at the same time, I have good intentions. And my main goal is to like, you know what I mean, spread love to the community and like work as a group and as a unit. You know, it's never about me, even though I know I stand out a lot of times.
If I had to be a Black Wealth Avenger, it would be Iron Man. Because he has the fly house, he has the dope business.
He is dope.
And he has the dope whips, you know, and he got one solid chick. I think that's the Avenger. I mean, he could be out there running the streets, but he just got one solid chick. It's just him and Pepper, you know?
Thought he's Tony Stark, like the guy, like...
Unlimited resources. Financially backing the whole Avengers. That's my goal.
And he's the heart of the Avengers. Like, he makes everybody's suits better. He make everybody stronger. Like, he's like the brains behind a lot of stuff. Like.
So shout out to that, man. All right, so how do you go about marketing? Back to the merch. How do you go back about marketing your business? Because, I mean, you're doing crazy numbers, relatively young company. What's your strategy behind marketing?
Stay consistent. I got that strategy from Gary Vee. So even when you get one like, when you ain't getting no like, stay consistent. Like I constantly put money behind my content. I make sure that I'm doing high quality content in addition to just regular iPhone content. You know what I mean? Where I just pull out my phone, like do some quick shit. But I'm also shooting real commercials for my brand to let people know, like, oh, he's official. Like there has to be something to let people know you're official. Like don't just like. Of course, you start where you are, but at some point you have to put some type of money behind what it is that you're doing to show people you're a legit business person and you have a legit business. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we cheap out on certain stuff because we're like, damn, I don't know if this money gonna come back. But at the same time, what about your image? Your image is what's gonna sell your product. You know what I mean? So you have to put money into your image and your brand to make it look like you might be bigger than what you are at the time. That's what commercials do all the time.
It's very true.
Like, you go to McDonald's and you get the burger, they got the ketchup all over the place, fucking sloppy and nasty, but on the commercial, that shit look amazing. The cheese melted perfectly, the fucking bun look fucking good, the burger fucking juicy. It's a whole different thing. So this is how you have to brand, you know what I mean, yourself. You know what I mean? And I think most people are scared to put the money behind the brand and to make their product look nicer than what it may actually be. And that's a lot of times, that's what marketing is, making something look nicer than what it is.
That's a bar, y'all.
And most people are scared to do that because they're like, I don't know if I'm going to make this money back.
And you know, sometimes people think that you're supposed to put it out there in sloppy version. They're like, oh, why would you like market this way or advertise this way? It's like, that's what business is, fam.
That's what it is, bro.
Business is me putting my best foot forward to attract customers.
Yep.
It's not me out there putting out, I don't know, the sloppy version of whatever it is.
It's like
you got to polish it up, shine it up.
You wouldn't buy my merch if you saw me in dirty sneakers. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was all big and baggy and ugly looking. Like, no, the way that I wear this shit, the way that I make it look like, oh man, that's stylish. That looks cool. I want that. Like, you look good. Like, I'm not going to present this no other way because I know you won't buy it outside of that.
Makes sense.
It's like if McDonald's won't show you the burger that you get from, you know what I'm saying, the South Side or Inglewood, you know what I'm saying, they're going to show you the commercial burger on the commercial. They're not going to show you the actual burger that you're going to get when you go to the restaurant that's smashed all down. Like, no, they're not going to show you that. Why would they do that?
Speaking of South Side Inglewood food, though, shout out to Hawkins House of Burgers. Go check out, I mean, it's kind of not in the safest place. Don't be over there wearing red or blue. I recommend parking in the back. Let them know you know me. And, if you want some good food, maybe even go with like a friend or two. Not too many friends, but like a friend. If you are about that life, the best food, black-owned business. They've been around for ages. They're the model of black wealth and generational wealth. That I think I need to get them on the podcast. That'd be cool. But since you're out here, I mean, of course, be safe. But take it into consideration. I'd actually, you know what? Order it. Uber Eats.
For sure.
That's what you should do. Order it. They do Uber Eats, DoorDash. Just order it. Get you a bacon cheeseburger. Get you a turkey bacon cheeseburger. Get you some chili cheese fries, strawberry lemonade. Really good stuff. Don't go over there. But order the food, man. Because I don't want to be responsible, I
don't go to those places in Chicago, so I'm definitely not going to go nowhere in nobody else's city shit.
Right. Can you talk to the people about the importance of wearing your brand every day?
It's hard, though.
It is hard.
It's hard. I do as much as I can, but it's hard because I have accumulated so many other clothes, and I don't want to just abandon my other wardrobe too. But you have to, man. And I like my stuff. Like, I genuinely like wearing my stuff. I like how it looks. Like, I like my stuff. So it's not an issue of me not liking it. It's just like, sometimes I just be wanting to put on some other shit.
So how do you balance that out? Because honestly, I had the same thing. Yesterday I wore, for Monday through Thursday, wore a suit. Friday I was like, I gotta wear my brand. So I put in the Todd Capital t-shirt. Today I was like, I'm recording, I gotta wear my brand. But it's like, the struggle is there's other cool items that you have.
Yep.
But then it's like,
why would you represent they? Yeah, why would you represent they shit when you can wear your shit? And it's like, I have boxes of my own stuff at home, like in different colors, so it's really no excuse. But at the same time, it's just like, I just want to be flying some other shit sometimes. Right. And then too, it's like, I don't want to feel like I wasted my money on all of the other stuff and it's just sitting there like collecting dust. But one thing I will say is I make sure that I wear my apparel when it's important. Whenever I'm on camera, whenever I'm shooting some type of content, whenever I'm in a crowd of people, I have my shit on.
I think that's
just like some type of dress code or something like that. I'm wearing my stuff.
So there we go. I mean? So what I was going to say is I feel like building a business is work. And sometimes wearing your stuff when you don't want to is kind of like the hard work that you got to do to build a brand in a business. But I like what you said is like you wear it when it matters. You're going to a conference, and there's going to be a bunch of people that might recognize you. Yep. Wear your brand then. You're recording some content, doing a video podcast, going on Instagram Live, that kind of stuff. Wear your brand then. But what I like to do is even when I'm wearing my brand, you still can do some swaggy stuff, you know? So you can still have a nice watch on. You can still have some nice shoes. My thing is mostly sneakers. So it's like if I'm going to be at a conference and I'm wearing my brand, I'm going to have on some designer sneakers. That's what I'm going to
do. And you see me with everything that I do when I wear my brand. Like I rocking Mike's, I rock some fucking Gucci's. Like it's just like I'm going to have this shit on. Like it's designer. I'm going to wear my clothes like a designer because that shit look good with the designer clothes.
It does.
And I make sure that I tell people don't rock my clothes like it's regular. Like, don't just put my shit on with, like, a pair of bummy jogging pants to run to the store. Like, no. If you gonna wear my shit, wear it. Because I'm gonna charge you for it, too. Like, my T-shirts ain't $20.
Yeah.
My T-shirts are $30. Like, my sweatshirts are $40. My hoodies are $55. But the quality of them is next level, too. It's not just, like, one of those DTG screen printed T-shirts. Like, you actually have puff print ink on my shirt. Like, where you can feel it. It feels good. It look good. When I sell people my merch, they be like, bro, you're not playing with the quality. Hell no. Like, you're not going to see a Wilson tag on my shirt. You're going to see Mindset Matters on my shirt. You're not going to see somebody else's name. Like, so I go the extra mile and pay an extra $1.50 per item for a tag and you know what I mean, all of that stuff, and it adds up. And most people cut corners with that because they like, man, I don't want to pay an extra $600 just for tags, but like this is what's gonna like make your brand like
there's
quality.
little things
those
set you
little
apart.
things that set you apart than the average person. And there's nothing wrong with having somebody else's name on your shirt when you're getting started. But like when you're trying to build a brand and like establish like dominance in the space, like your name needs to be on every fucking thing. Look at Donald Trump. Big Trump towers on everything. Like he don't care. Like you're gonna know who this is and who owns this and who runs this. And for me, like that's very important for me to like establish like dominance with my brand. Like no, this is my brand. I'm not gonna have a champion tag on my fucking hoodie. It don't make no sense for me to do that.
Our quality's gonna be fire once I sync with the audio, man.
And that's the thing too. Like that's why I got into it, because like I used to do a lot of iPhone videos. It's like, no, fuck that. Those videos be what's up. Like when I see Neo Davis and they be posting, it's just like these videos are fire. And that's the main thing when it comes to quality. Your quality is what's going to set you apart from the average person, because everybody is doing videos on a fucking iPhone. But what makes your content different? Not only are you not just making reels, you're making real quality videos. Everybody can make a reel, but some of your content is all you did real high quality video. You got real cuts and transitions.
When you do when you go the extra mile, people notice. And that's when you get the more views. That's when you get the more likes. That's when you go viral.
That's how you start growing your YouTube channel, which you can monetize, all of that kind of stuff. Like, because some stuff is strictly cool just for Instagram. But when you start going to YouTube and all that, you got to have those high quality videos, because people don't want to watch no shitty quality video for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They want to see a real movie quality video.
They want quality video, quality audio.
For 10 or 15 minutes, this shit better be on point.
Yeah, you can't have your audio going in and out, up and down, where one person's high, one person
peaking and dipping and just, it's...
So what I like about it is a lot of times people are self-conscious in what they're pricing their products for. But when you invest in quality, it don't seem like you too hesitant about what you're going to price your stuff.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. Because I go look at Nike, and I'm like, all right, Nike got the same material, the same print, or even a lesser print. They selling their hoodies for $75. Mine $50. It's mine a better quality.
It's a no-brainer at that point.
It's a no-brainer at that point. I wish I would sell one of my hoodies for $30. Like maybe if I have a sale or something like that, but I know the quality of what I'm putting out there. So why would I cut myself short just to appease to a cheaper audience? Like, no, this is my audience. I have the $60 hoodie audience. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the $30 hoodie audience. You know what I mean? Because they're going to say my hoodies are too expensive. But at the same time, if I come and see one of your hoodies, it's not going to be like this. It's not going to fit you like this. It's going to be baggy. The seams ain't going to be on point. The stitching ain't going to be right. Your print probably going to be faded after one wash. Like, it just... You got to pay attention to all of those things and not factor in all of those things.
What kind of watch is that? It's a nice watch.
It's a Nixon.
Man. Okay. I was like, that's a nice gold watch right there.
I got a couple really nice watches, man. I never bring them out, though. I never bring them out. Like Nixon is my favorite watch brand because it's quality, it's nice looking, and it's inexpensive.
You get it from like what, Nordstrom?
Where else? I get on their website a lot of times.
I'm gonna get me a gold Nixon, man.
Yeah, get you a Nixon watch, man. And you
I've
see this shit
owned
look
some
good.
Nixons in the past. I had my first gold watch was a Nixon, and I think I had another one before it or after it. I like those watches.
And I even got a Oyster Perpetual date just at the crib, and I never wear it. Like I wore it one time at the event. Charles spotted it immediately. He's like, "You got the Rollie on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I brought it out today," but I rarely bring them out. Like I never wear them. Like I got a
It's tough to spot a Rollie unless you know a Rollie. But if you know a Rollie, you can spot it.
A Bell and Ross, I got a nice ass Bell and Ross, but I can't get the battery changed for some reason because it's like watch companies in America. They just be like, I'm not touching that watch.
I actually had to get mine serviced. I have a Bell & Ross, tried to get it serviced. It was automatic, so there's no battery. I didn't know this stuff, but it finally works. Now we back.
Did it? How did you get yours working? Because I thought it was a battery.
I had to pay like $300. I don't know. You have to look at the back and it'll tell you if it's automatic or if it's actually battery operated. But it might be automatic. And then what happened is it was the main spring. So the spring that runs the whole watch, because the automatic watch basically winds itself. You twist it just to get it started, and then the movement of the watch, the movement of like you throughout the day makes the watch go. So that's almost Rolex. That's all Rolexes are. They're automatic watches. So they have to get service. It's like a car. So you got to take it to the watch dealer. They got to take it all apart, clean all in between all the gears and everything, and then they reset and you're good to go.
And a lot of people don't know too, like those watches are based on like your body temperature and stuff too. Like so you would think your watch ain't working, then you'll put it on and it will start ticking again. It's just like you just got to understand like the quality and the brand of the watches you're getting, because most like nice fancy watches, they function like that. They like function off body temperature and pulse.
Where'd the name Renaissance come from?
That's a good question, man. Not too many people ask me that. But one of my favorite subjects when I was in high school was world civilization. It was like a history class, and we learned about the Renaissance period in history. And the Renaissance came right after like the Dark Ages. You know what I mean? Like when everybody was just like in their homes, like dark. It wasn't a whole lot of light. Just like like walking around with like fire and shit, like dark ass capes and shit. And the Renaissance era came, and there were just like all of these creative people who were like doing art. Da Vinci, Michelangelo, all these people, like they were just like, they started to be creative and not care what the rules were, because back then, like, you weren't supposed to like express yourself. You know what I mean? They had, everything was like church oriented. Like if it wasn't through the church or whatever, like you would be like stoned or burned. It was just like real bad times. And they came out of those times with all of these historic artists that we know now, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, like all of these guys. And it was just a time where like people were creating like crazy, and all of these historical pieces and stuff that we have now, they were created during the Renaissance. And and the word Renaissance means new birth or reawakening. And I took on the name because I was rapping at the time, and that's what I told myself that I was going to be for the rap industry, a new birth, a reawakening, because I was from Chicago, where there was this like major gang culture and all of that stuff, but I didn't rap about that stuff. I was rapping about girls, getting money, and all of these things. So I just took on that name to be a new birth or a reawakening of like Chicago hip hop. And then once I stopped rapping, it just kind of transitioned into my life, because I had to, you know, rebirth myself and become a new person. You know what I mean? That's like from this old lifestyle, this old mindset, and become this forward thinker. And that in the name just really stuck and made sense for me, because like I've constantly had to go through these different renaissances in my life.
I was going to ask you, do you still kind of adopt that principle of a renaissance even today?
Absolutely. That's why my everything is Renaissance 125 across all platforms. Like, I just feel like everybody has to go through that rebirth, through that reawakening phase, that Renaissance phase, to really like find who they really are and find their true path.
We're going to wrap this up. I think you guys got a ton of value in terms of the merch business. There's so many other questions I could ask you that I didn't write down. Like, how you come up with the designs, who makes the designs for you?
I drew them out myself. So I had these sayings and these images in my head. So like, even this, like happiness over everything, like these were all designs that I wrote down in my cubicle. Like I drew this stuff out like in my cubicle and just had somebody to see. Let me see. I'll show you. And it's crazy because I have the proof of this stuff, because I just keep record of everything, man. I did this stuff back in 2017, right? And I'm trying to see if this load up, but these were like the original designs that I like drew up and stuff in 2017 in my cubicle, and I sent them to a graphic designer, and he sent them back to me, and I ended up not using him because I didn't like them. But you can see like this is from February of 2017 when I started like working on these designs and stuff. And the designs came from, just like I say, the concepts, the principles that I believed in. Right. I just wanted to make something cool of them. And at the time, I knew emojis were like a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody uses emojis. Everybody understands emojis.
Yeah.
They're just like the thing now.
Right. They made a whole movie about emojis.
Yeah, so I'm just like, if I can create some cool looking designs off of emojis, like you see these in your phone every single day. You know what these are. Everybody can relate all over the world. You know what I mean? And that was what the whole thing was.
Emoji is like its own language. Yeah. You send somebody an emoji, it could just mean a whole sentence.
Exactly.
It's not even just like a punctuation mark. It's like a whole sentence.
I use like cap. I'm send you a hat. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like just little stuff like that, man. And I just always been creative and just like artsy, like when it comes to like, you know what I mean, creativity and difference. I think that comes from like the whole music background. Just I've always been creative and been able to write. Which is how I was able to write my book. You know, I'm just a creative person. Everybody don't got that. You know?
I was looking at your shoes. I'm like, those are clean, man. Like, it looks like you have never worn those.
I do. I like I told y'all in the video, when I take them off, I just clean them real good and make sure I put them up. And I have to, in most of my designs, they're designed to go with like the shoes that I wear, like my Jordans and all that stuff.
Smart.
And I know that's major for the culture. Like we love Jordans, so it's like I try to make my designs to go with whatever the hot popping kicks are.
That's smart.
Yeah.
In terms of sourcing, how do you find people that can manufacture what you're looking to do?
So I had to do research, man. So I reached out to Printful. I reached out to another company, and then I found this company in Chicago who works with like Floyd Mayweather, Chance the Rapper, all of these heavy people who I didn't even know they were in Chicago. And I just went and had a meeting with them, and they typically don't just like have walk-in meetings, but I'm like, I just pull some boss shit, like, yo, can I speak to the owner? And they're like, Carlo, typically, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to spend like a big lump sum of cash. Can I speak to the owner? They're like, yeah, 1 second. You know what I mean? So he set up the meeting. This was after I did the drop shipping. And I'm like, I don't want to do drop shipping no more. I'm trying to do this, and this, and I need these particular prices. What do I need to do to get these prices? And he just respected the fuck out of that. Like, dude, you really just came in here like with a bag of money on your business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, I got these concepts from like Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Like when they were saying like they couldn't get the radio to play their songs, they would just like walk in with a bag of money. Like, what's up? And money talks. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, since you talking about spending like this is what we can do for you. We'll give you these particular inks. You'll be able to get these particular colors. They just really like sat down and worked with me because, again, the money talk. Like when you come in asking for some shit, it's just like, who are you? Like, why would I do this?
Right. And that's the thing is you came in and you did business with them similar to how you did business with Henry. You brought money to the table.
I never just come empty-handed, bro. Like, that's never been my thing. Like, I won't do it. Like,
the moral of the podcast is bring money to the table.
Man, bro, like, I just won't come asking, like, for stuff. Like, especially if I know I have value to offer.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part about it is people who have value still, they think that they are immune from bringing money to the table. Yeah. And you're like, nah, I'm going to bring you both. I'm going to bring you a dope concept. I'm going to bring opportunity to your business and here's some money up front.
And here's some money up front just to show you I'm serious. Like, because I don't like nobody bullshitting with me.
Did you actually bring a bag of money or did you bring a check?
Nah, I brought a check.
Okay.
A bag of money. I ain't out here selling dope.
Like,
we grown ups now. Like, you know what I'm saying? We swiping cards and shit. Motherfuckers got American Express gold and platinum cards and shit like that. Like, when I say a bag of money, I just use that as like a metaphor for our people to understand what I meant. Like,
right.
I paid for this shit up front out of my pocket.
Right. So we talked about pretty much everything, I think.
Yeah, man.
What is a gem that you would leave the people with?
It's a lot of them, but mainly, man, the number one thing in all of this shit is believing in yourself. Like, understanding that you're capable and you're able. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people deal with the whole concept of being called out as a fraud, or you know what I mean, or not really like having the confidence like to just like take it to the next level. And you know how talented you are, you know what I mean, you know how bad you want this shit, you know all of these things, but like, do you really believe in yourself that you can do this? Do you feel like you deserve the lifestyle that you really want? And I think that's what separates a lot of people, because even when I was in my darkest times and in my darkest spaces, like I just felt like I deserved better. I knew I deserved better. I wasn't going to settle. And I think for most people, that's what the difference is between somebody who's successful and who not. You just keep going because you know I deserve better. I know I'm one of them dudes. I've been knowing this my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
I've been knowing this shit my whole life. Now it's about me trying to really take the steps to get to that next level, to prove this to myself, not to nobody else, not to Instagram, not to my mama, not to my daddy, but to actually go out and prove this point right within myself. Yo, I'm one of them dudes. Period. I don't care what nobody else say, what nobody else think. I always been one of them dudes. Even at my lowest fucking point, I've been that nigga. I don't care. What you thought about me, what I had on, nothing. In here, in my head and in my heart, I always knew. I always knew. And I think that's the number one factor that was going to separate you from everybody else, your confidence and your self-belief.
The crazy part about...
and you super confident. I know that about you. You're super confident in yourself and what you capable of and what you do, because you talk about it all the time. And you vocalize it all the time. And you let motherfuckers know, I ain't no regular dude out here, man. And you gotta let people know that shit though. Even when I was fucked up, I knew I wasn't no regular dude.
Right. He said, what'd he say? Oh, I forgot what he said. He said, I forgot what he said. Larry June has a line that relates to that. But what I was going to say is that what you're going to realize is the people that you think that you're proving yourself to, once you do make it, you ain't going to want to mess with them anyway.
And they not going to care. Because they really only watching to see if you fail. Right. Outside of that, once you make it, they going to I ain't watching no more. Right. He's just making me mad at this point. So, yeah, just focus on doing you, man, and having confidence and getting to the next level. Fuck what anybody else think.
Yeah. This is a dope conversation on a part 2 level, man. I think I was telling somebody that sometimes the best conversations aren't even the interview conversations, or aren't even the tell me your life story conversations. It's just two people having a conversation about just stuff,
just kicking it. And I told you this before the last time we were talking. I love talking to you because you bring a different perspective than what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? And me and Lamont were having this conversation. Man, when Charles started talking, we just stopped talking because we like to listen to you start talking your shit. Because when you start going and you get into that, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and your confidence start coming out, the gems and shit you be dropping. Shit, I hope y'all catching this shit, because I am. I ain't finna say a word. I'm gonna let bro keep talking. Even when you were at the conference, man, when you got up there and you start talking, bro, you speak with such an elegance, in class, that I'm not polished there yet. You know what I'm saying? But to see somebody else that's the same skin color as me, that can talk like me, that's just you know what I'm saying? Who can speak like that just lets me know it's room in this shit for all of us. Because there's gonna be somebody out here who may not like what I say, who may not understand what I say, who can rock with you, and there's gonna be somebody the same thing on my end, and there's gonna be people who rock with both of us because we just bring different things to the table. And some of the best shit in the world, like I say, man, I'm extremely blessed that God has given me the network that he's given me and allowed me the friendships that I have, because a lot of people that are on the internet, they just on the internet. You don't really form friendships with them and bonds with them. Man, me and this man that sat down and had dinner together multiple times. We done do conferences together, man, just did work together, joined combined businesses and partnerships together, and this is all off of an internet relationship. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy the way things work out sometimes, and the people that God put in your life, man. It's just insane to me.
Good things happening, and I'm hoping that if you would consider the pandemic kind of that cold time, I'm hoping that the things that we build on top of the pandemic coming out are going to be that renaissance. So I'm looking forward to some really cool things. We're not done. 2020 was a great year. 2021 was a good year, and we're gonna make 2022 an even better year.
Talk about the conference you talking about doing in Miami, man. People need to know that.
Oh yeah. So me, Andre C. Hatchett, a few other people. We're bringing out Annalise. We're bringing out Henry Amazing. We're gonna bring out Michelle Welch, and we're all gonna be out in Miami, out in a dope venue right on the water with the boat. I like the boats. We're gonna have a happy hour. We're gonna have a full day of just recording content, creating content, mapping out your courses, creating all the flyers and the social media marketing for your courses, and launching it. A lot of people, they come to conferences and then they have to go home and do the work. We're doing the work at the conference.
That's awesome.
So we want you to be making money before you even leave. Launching that pre-sale, getting that landing page up, starting to drive traffic and get those ads going. So when you do leave, you should have already hopefully made the money back from the actual event. So it's one of those rare instances where you make money at an event And it's interesting to me to see people actually buying into it. Because, I mean, sometimes when you are like me, you go low ticket for so long. When you do pop out and you do something high ticket, you're like, man, somebody really wants to pay me $5,000?
And that's the point I'm at. Because I talk to George and Henry about that all the time. Like, bro, you need to start your program. You need to come up with a high ticket item. And I just been, like, super duper nervous about doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, because my low ticket items do so well. But it's just like, man, if you go ahead and really, like, imagine how much value people are getting from your low ticket items.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How much you can change somebody's life from a high ticket item when you really like spending time with them. And
it's interesting.
Into them.
I was talking to my wife and I was telling her how, like, a lot of times we're like, oh, nobody would pay me $30,000. Nobody's gonna pay me $30,000 or $40,000 or $20,000. Yeah. But it's like you already had a job that was paying you. Your job was paying you a high ticket offer. It's just they were dripping it out of you and they were paying you on a monthly, weekly basis. And so the value's there, man. You are worth X. And it's tough sometimes to think that, but there's a really good book that I'm going to get back to. I want to say it's not called Expert Secrets. It's called .com Secrets. It's honestly the book that started all this gangster shit. Russell Brunson.
I got that, the black box shit.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that you brought that up because Gary Vee in that book is how I started learning how to brand myself online. And even just the concept of understanding, like, the thing that resonated with me the most in that book was when he said you don't have to be the biggest and the best in your field. You just need to be one or two steps ahead of the people that are following you.
100%.
That was some of the best advice that I had ever gotten because I was stopping myself from launching and doing all of these things because I felt like I needed to be on this big major platform or at this big major level. And it's like, nah, there are people who follow you who ain't nowhere near that. And if you ever get there, they're going to not fuck with you because they're going to feel like you too far out of reach.
Right.
So right now, you're still within arm's reach for a lot of people. All of those people who can't get to Gary Vee, all of those people who can't get to Ty Lopez, all of those people who can't get to Earn Your Leisure, they're going to come to you.
Right. And there's a lot of those people.
And it's a lot of those people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to understand this.
Yeah. And a lot of people aren't broke. A lot of people have money to spend. A lot of people have the ability to purchase that high ticket stuff, even if you think they don't. But there's this concept called the value ladder. So just because you have high ticket doesn't mean you have to abandon low ticket. And your low ticket can build people into your high ticket, especially if you're adding a ton of value. And so, like, that's my strategy going forward. My time is very, very expensive, and so it's going to be very difficult. Like, Andre can get the time, but if it's just like some random dude who's like, "Hey, man, I'm in town," it's like, I don't know,
That's the
brother.
same thing we were just talking about. Like, bro, I don't know you for real. Like, you don't know me for real. Like, I get it. Like, you fuck with me on the internet. The value I give you is cool and stuff like that. But, like, I ain't gonna be out here just linking up with any.
It's impossible. There's not enough hours in the day. It's not enough hours in the day, and that's why you have to add the money becomes an exchange. So somebody said that the money becomes you exchange what you have a lot of for what you don't have a lot of. So if you have a lot of money but you don't have a lot of time, then you're gonna exchange money for time. If you have a lot of time but you don't have a lot of money, now you're gonna start exchanging your time for the money. And so now that you're in such high demand where you have all these followers that are reaching out to you, in order to get access to your limited time, they got to pay big bucks. But this is super cool, just adding value and having this conversation and going deep and talking about stuff that's not just the normal podcast stuff.
Sure.
So I know you guys are going to get a ton of value out of this conversation. Make sure you reach out to this brother. All his information will be in the show notes. All his information will be at the link in the bio, I guess. That's what they say. We're putting this up on YouTube, putting this up on Instagram, putting this up all over the place, and this episode will be live ASAP. I'm going to start firing out these episodes. I got so many dope episodes in the clip. Yesterday I recorded with George. That was mind-blowing episode. I got a creator of that. The day before that, I recorded with Rakim Sabri. That episode's already live. Rakim. Yeah, so you know what the cool part about all this stuff is? It's just linking up with dope brothers.
Yep.
Like, that's all it is. Like, I work with a bunch of dope brothers, and we all do dope things, and we all link up. So it's like, man, imagine as we get older and we become more established, become more wealthy, own more things, we're going to be out there controlling the world.
And ain't nobody out here trying to compete with each other. Right. None. We literally, like, are learning from each other and picking each other's brains with none of that bullshit involved. And, like, it's just so progressive and such a, like, cool feeling because as black people, especially black men, there's such a, like, competitiveness about us. And it's just, like, it don't got to be that. We'll be way stronger if we partner up and team together and make some shit happen. You know what I mean? That group economic shit is real.
Right.
So to try to be out here operating as an individual and causing divisiveness and separating and causing issues between brothers, like, that shit don't even make no sense, man. Like I say, like, I've grown so much by collaborating with you guys and just linking up and teaming up with everybody as opposed to me trying to operate as an individual.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it or see it any other way, man.
Yeah. Dope. So that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you leave us a rating and review. And also smash the like and turn on that alarm. All that cool, fancy YouTube stuff, man, because we got to grow this YouTube as well. My name is Charles Oglesby, also the Top Millionaire. We're signing out.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. I know you guys got value from this. Make sure that you follow up with our guests. All the information is going to be in the bottom of the show notes. Make sure that you guys leave a rating and a review. We like 5-star reviews. Wherever you're listening to this, make sure you give us a review. We got to move up in those rankings because we need more people to hear these dope stories of dope people so we can help change lives across the country. Click the link in the bio for all of our affiliate products and links. We have some great stuff down there. We're working with Terry Gioma, Hood Estates, Charm City Buyers, Andre Hatchett, a lot of really great people that are here to help you take your life to the next level. Have a great week and thanks for tuning in.